This is a special multi-part series called Have Gi Will Travel, a philosophical journey. If you don't want to wait for new episodes to drop, you can listen to or watch this entire series as a supercut on Patreon or Ko-Fi. Part 6. Wu Wei, the philosophy of spontaneity. I drove, and when I got tired, I would rest. If there happened to be some interesting place to train or eat, I'd go there. If I liked it, I stayed a few more nights. If I didn't, I moved on. I was free from deadlines, so I did what I wanted. I wrote this in my journal. I saw what was happening, not only to me, but to everyone else I knew, and I thought better of it. Before I die, I want to live. End quote. I zigzagged through America. No destination. My only requirement was to live, and even came to terms if that didn't work out. This is the essence of Wu Wei, the philosophy of spontaneity. We normally end up in the same ruts and echo chambers, having our biases confirmed. You can meet a rocket scientist and eventually end up talking to them about the same things you always talk about. We're so happy with what we already know that we ignore all the exciting new avenues to be explored. We read books that confirm our beliefs. People recommend books that reiterate thoughts we already have. You have to read this book. It talks about everything you already talk about. This isn't far off from how books or TV shows, and now podcasts, are recommended to people. Why don't we be honest when we recommend something? You would love this. It's an echo chamber. So we end up with the same lessons and thoughts we're used to. Even in a new environment, we will force it to be whatever we're familiar with. Force everything into our default domains. When we hear a long explanation, what do? We say something like, "So you're basically saying," and then convert it to something we already know. So that way, we don't have to learn this new thing. This is why McDonald's is the most popular restaurant for tourists. In lab tests, when people eat something and are told it's something different from what it is, it affects their perception of taste. Expectations alter reality. This doesn't only work with our taste buds, it works with all of our senses. We are accustomed to seeing things not as they are, but how we think they should be. Then we never see reality, and reality and its inhabitants deserve to be seen as they are without our judgments. That's my preference. Let's see what I see. If I unfocus my gaze and take my eyes off the prize, what other things will I see? How broad will my view be? How much more of the world will I be able to experience? Rather than specific, like how will being a fill in the blank make me happy, how about a more open-ended search? Such as, how can I flourish? You can only do this by casting the widest net possible, or no net at all. How broad are your horizons? People don't Google, what is the healthiest diet? They Google, why veganism is the best diet. We tell the universe the answers we want to hear. But can we just be open-ended? When I talk about my non-linear trip and the random towns I visited, it still confuses people. They want order, but when is life ever perfectly ordered? I'd rather be good at dealing with uncertainty, dealing with life the way it is, not the way I think it ought to be. That's a skill. Being good at order doesn't require you to be good at anything. I wrote this in my journal. What is it that makes certain people want to drive when we all hate driving? What makes us want to drive far with no real destination? And forget financial fears, dangers of being on the road, weather conditions, loneliness, and boredom. Is it the sense of adventure? Is there a certain pulse, a heartbeat of the country that vibrates through all the open highways and interstates? Is it the sense that if and when you get back, everything will be different? I'm not sure. All I hear is the road telling me, let's go, let's go, let's go. I feel a rhythm in my bones coming from the road, and all I want to do is plug in. It's like a song I can't get out of my head. Let's see what I see. Part 7. There are two types of tape. Always have tape. I don't know why. I can't predict what for, but you'll need it. Duct tape is to hold your stuff together. Athletic tape is to hold you together. And sometimes they work interchangeably. Also body sprays for times you can't shower. It happens. And keep antiseptic wash and bandages in the car. You'll need it. And talk to strangers. To this day, I still make it a point, wherever I am, to nod and say hello. If a conversation strikes up, I go with it. The thing about being somewhere new is not just about being there, but about engaging with the people who live there. I used to be extremely shy, my social anxiety disorder. So this is also part of my daily practice, to get out of the habits that do not serve me, to not own my limitations, to each their own, to pick my preferences. It also creates a positive ripple. People feel good when they have a good experience. But to be frank, they're probably helping me more than I am them. People are my medication. With regards to training at a new martial arts school, be nice. Nicer than you've ever been. You've got no posse, no friends. You're on your own. Even if someone wrongs you, why would the school take your side? Someone they've known 15 minutes over someone they've known 15 years. If an experience sucks, cut your losses and leave. You have that freedom. I've talked to many wandering martial artists, and we've all had similar experiences. We love it, we'll keep doing it, but we must be cautious. Some places will see visitors as fresh meat. It's not like you could contact the school and ask, "Are you dangerous?" Who will say yes? You won't know until you get there and see the culture, and see how the instructors are, and see how they run their school. It starts from the top down. Look for signs and watch them spar before jumping in. Maybe even ask the instructor who's a safe person to train with. They'll understand, as many instructors have experience with training while traveling. When you do spar, don't try to win, try to learn. Why have ego over what is temporary? Don't fight for a turf you can't keep. Remember, you won't be there long. This is a good general rule. If you're in a new situation for a short period of time, that's just enough time to learn. Have your priorities straight. You can replace your stuff, but you can't replace you. And if you break, neither athletic tape nor duct tape will be able to put you back together again. Be open to new experiences, but not so open that your brain falls out. Travel with care. Traveling isn't about becoming the best. It's about the best experience and having the best life possible. Going places, making new friends, and seeing the world. So enjoy yourself and allow things to be. If, however, your primary goal is to get really good, you need a consistent and stable practice. For a long time, I didn't have anyone to promote me in rank. You'll have to live with that too. But that's what happens when you're a wanderer without a master. But in exchange, you get to be a wanderer without a master. That's not bad either. If you don't want to wait for the next episode of Have Gi Will Travel, you can listen to or watch this entire series as a supercut on Patreon or Ko-Fi.